welcome to On Stage with the Elves and the Shoemaker. I'm your host and theater mom, Erin Boni, who is going to walk you through the third show of our summer season at South Park Children's Theater, and it is called, again, The Elves and the Shoemaker. Today I have several guests to interview to take you through this production, which will be on stage at the outdoor stage, July 14th through the 23rd. It's a unique experience in the outdoor stage at South Park Children's Theater because family and friends can bring camping chairs and blankets to sit on the green. There are no bad seats. There's a concession stand for snacks and drinks available, and no show is longer than 90 minutes with intermission. Also, prior to show, which is my favorite part, the actors come out to the audience in character to interact with the patrons. So first up, I have some actors with me. Please welcome Emmelia, Austin, and Juli. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. So I'm going to start with Emmelia because you're closest to me, but I want to ask you guys all kind of similar questions about your characters in the show. Just be careful not to give anything away if there are any secrets to the show, you know, or things there. But first off, tell me about your character, and what can you tell me about your character again without giving too much away from the show?
So my character's name is Matilda Cobblestone. She is the wife of the shoemaker, and she is a very sweet, caring person. She's very passionate about her and her husband's store and just making shoes in general. And she's also very hardworking. Like, she really likes to get stuff done.
Okay. I do hear that there's kind of an abnormal obsession with shoes in this particular, without saying too much, right, within this particular show. So, awesome. All right, Austin, talk to me.
Well, my character is Lockhart Cobblestone, and I'm the shoemaker.
Star of the show.
Yes. And I would say he's hardworking, and they're very, I think Matilda and Lockhart have a very loving and intimate relationship. I feel like they're very close with each other, and they care about each other very much.
Nice.
Even though they're very poor and they don't have much money.
Okay. All right. And Juli, tell me about your character.
So my character is very evil. She's very like mean, and basically.
Okay. So you get to be kind of the catalyst of these two, right?
Mm-hmm,
okay.
yeah.
So you are the one who gets to stir all the menace, which I think would be kind of fun, you know what I mean, to play that particular part. Because South Park Children's Theater draws from so many different districts, I was just going to ask you briefly what school you go to and what grade you're in.
So I go to Baldwin High School, and I'll be in 10th grade next year.
Nice. And have you participated in some of their productions in the
Yes,
past as well?
I have.
Very nice. Okay. Austin, what about you?
I also go to Baldwin High School, and I'm going into 10th grade as well.
Awesome. Juli?
I go to Baldwin Middle School, and I'm going into 6th grade.
Into 6th grade. Oh, wow. I would have thought you were older than that. See, you present a little bit older. That's wonderful. Okay, so talk to me about what has been, other than the ridiculous heat and weather of the summer, okay? Talk to me about the show in particular. What has been challenging or rewarding, maybe both, about this particular show compared to other ones you've done either in South Park or elsewhere?
I think what's been a bit challenging is remembering all my blocking and like remembering whose shoes is whose and like what shoes I'm supposed to give people. But it's also very rewarding to see how well the show has been coming along, and it's just very rewarding to see it progress throughout all our rehearsals.
Nice. And I know today people are supposed to bring the exact shoes they were wearing, so it's probably even more important for you then to know who to give their shoes back to. Excellent.
I think the most challenging part of the show is definitely lines in general, memorizing them, knowing how to say them, knowing when to say them, and it takes a lot of practice to do that, and I think that's probably the hardest part, but it's definitely rewarding to see that when the show comes together in the end and everybody knows what they're doing, and it comes together very well.
Nice. Juli?
I feel like the hardest part is basically being someone you're not, like, because I'm not really that evil in real life.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So it's like hard to not break out a character, like laugh.
Right.
So. Yeah.
Because I saw some of the parts when you guys were like, kind of, because my daughter's in the show, like when everybody was kind of trying out per se. And I know that some things are very, the characters are very dynamic, yours in particular. Right, I would think that it'd be hard to kind of stay in character. So that's wonderful. Tell me what you like most about being part of South Park Children's Theater.
The thing I like most about being part of South Park Theater is getting to meet so many people from so many different like school districts, and also getting to do all of these like fun shows with getting to meet so many new friends and stuff. It's really fun.
Nice. Austin?
I think the best part is definitely the people, and I think it's very unique here. Like, I've been in so many shows here that I wouldn't have known if I hadn't done them, and I've met so many new people here. Everybody's so nice, and it's so open.
Excellent. Juli?
I feel like the best part is the community, like all the people, and the opportunities to get in the show, because there's so many summer shows, winter shows, talent shows.
Yeah, there's like something almost all year round, right, for everybody to be involved in. Wonderful. All right. So last question is, give me a plug for the show. Why should we come see the Elves and the Shoemaker?
It's a really fun show. It's really funny. It's just a really fun show in general. Like, it has a really good just like storyline. It's a very good show to watch, and it's really fun. And we all have a lot of fun doing it. So it's a really good show to come and see.
Excellent. Austin?
I think the show is really nice. It's really funny. It's one of the better shows that I've been in, and it has a great cast of people. Everyone in the cast is really good, and they're really amazing people.
Wonderful.
I feel like the show's really unique, and it's something you wouldn't see on a daily basis, so I think it's really fun to see.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you guys so much for talking with me today. I appreciate it. All right, so when we return, we're going to speak with a few more actors from the show, so stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm here with a few more actors, Charlie, June, and Elliot. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. So first, I want to ask you guys a little bit about your characters, and then I might ask about, where you go to school and some other acting things you've been a part of. But first, Charlie, what can you tell me about your character without giving anything away from the show?
My character is one of the elves, and I feel like my character is always like kind and is always laughing a lot.
Okay. So you're kind of like maybe a happy elf, right? A joyful elf. Very nice. And I'm assuming that the elves are helping the shoemaker, right? That's part of your gig. Okay. All right. June.
Well, I'm the mayor's assistant, Miss Crutchbucket. So I would
That's an awesome
say
name, by the way, Crutchbucket.
I just kind of like follow the mayor around and just like kind of repeat almost everything that she says.
Okay.
Just to emphasize it.
Very nice. So you're that good supporting role there. I like that. Elliot.
My character's name is Zoom Corrigan. He's kind of like a Olympic runner.
Okay.
So he's looking for people for the team. So
Very nice. Zoom. Wow, there's some great names in here. I like all these. That's wonderful. Can you tell me, again, because South Park Children's Theater, has a wide variety of ages and school districts, tell me what school you go to and what your age is, and maybe if you done any other productions outside of South Park Children's Theater.
I will be attending South Park Middle School this fall.
Yeah.
I'm 10 years old.
Great. And have you done you've done other shows here at South Park?
Yes, this will be my 10th production.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Wow. Have you done any shows for South Park yet, or is it still too soon to be part of the school district?
It's too soon.
Too soon, yeah, but maybe this year. That's wonderful. Wow, that's a lot of shows. That's awesome. June?
I'm in Baldwin Middle School.
Okay.
I'm 12 years old, and this is my first South Park play, but I've done my school plays before.
That's wonderful. Oh, I love it. So, what grade school, or what grade will you be going into?
7th.
7th. Awesome. And Elliot?
I will also be going to South Park Middle School this fall.
Yeah.
And I'm 10 years old.
and this will be my 7th production at South Park.
Okay. So we have some experience and we have a newbie. That's wonderful. And so, well, we're happy to have all of you here. That's great. All right, so talk to me about what the most challenging and rewarding part of this particular show has been for you.
Probably trying to memorize the lines, but like when you do memorize them, it's rewarding because you like worked really hard on them.
And then just to see everything come together. That's wonderful. June, what about you?
I would probably say like what everyone else has been saying, like the lines, like it's challenging to remember the lines and know when to come in and all the blocking and stuff. But it's also rewarding to like see the show come together and build up and everyone like make friends with new people.
Awesome. And I imagine too, like I said, you're being like that sidekick that, gets to repeat the other person. Probably having to emphasize that in a funny or different, way is probably unique as well. That's awesome. Elliot.
The challenging part is probably remembering like your cues and your blocking, but probably the rewarding part is it being done and seeing it finished and the people that are there that can help you with that stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so you guys have Tech Week this week. The other 2 shows I was like right at the end. This one I'm a little bit further ahead, getting my interviews in to kind of plug things. So with that, what is your short little plug for the show? Why should we come see Elves and the Shoemaker?
Well, some kids might have like read the book, and it would be really cool to see it like come to life.
Awesome.
I feel like it's just like a fun play, and all the characters are like unique in a way, so they're all like fun to interact with.
Yeah.
And if you like Christmas, then you can see it happen in July.
Awesome.
Instead of the winter.
Yeah, I love it. I like the Christmas in July plug. Elliot?
So I think that
Yeah, so just tell me why.
You should come see it. It's silly. There's fun stuff. It's funny. There's good characters in it, good storytelling.
Awesome. And your name is Zoom, so
Yes.
it's totally cool. I love it. Thank you guys so much for talking with me today and being here. I appreciate it. All right. When we come back, we'll be joined with another actor, but also our director and one of the stage managers. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. I'm here with Jeanie, Kole, and Rainey to continue to discuss our Elves and the Shoemaker, the 3rd of our season shows for the summer. And first, just want to welcome you guys for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So I guess, can you guys tell me a little bit about the show? So I know that shows of South Park Children's Theater are not direct copies of books or princess stories or fairy tales, but they often are kind of like a mashup. I guess tell me a little bit about, like when Charlie mentioned that it was a book, I had no idea. I've never seen this show. I'm going in cold. I don't want to know anything about it. But so tell me though. I know it's one they've done before, and apparently it's a book. So
it is a book, and you're right. The character names are different, and but the storyline is pretty much the same. That the elves come in to help the shoemaker because he's such a wonderful person, and they are giving kindness back to somebody who was kind to people. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good theme.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kole, I understand that this is I know you are co-stage managing. Our other stage manager couldn't be here. But talk to me about what it's like to stage manage, and have you been on the other side before? Like what brought you to stage managing?
So I've done stage managing, student directing before at Peters here, and I've also been on the stage as well here. And I know my friend Grace, she's a co-stage manager, and Mrs. C just asked me if I want to do it too, and I was more than happy to, because I used to do painting with South Park and stuff, so I know a little bit, but this is my first real kind of show. So. Yeah,
no, that's awesome to kind of corral everybody. What's it like, I guess, dealing with all the different age ranges?
It's definitely different from what I experience here at Peters.
Everybody's high schooler, they know what they're doing.
But it's it's really fun to get to see like the little 5-year-olds like interacting with like the high schoolers and just seeing how everybody kind of interacts with each other. So it can be difficult at times, but it's fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Rainey, tell me about your character in the show without giving too much away. And,
my name is Shorts. I'm one of the elves. I'm more of the like bratty one who wants to be the leader but isn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll have to bring a little sassy out. That's actually kind of fun. Okay. So very much like Julie's character, you know, saying that that's not who she is, and I know you personally, you're not a brat. But, you know, sometimes playing out of your character, you know what I mean, can be fun and bring it out a little bit. Awesome. Okay. Talk to me, Miss Jeanie, about what has been, other than, like I said, I know the weather's been challenging for everybody between the heat and the precipitation we won't discuss. But tell me what's been challenging and rewarding about Elves in particular.
I think challenging this year is we did have a lot of people going on vacation, and having that hole on stage really makes a big difference, and it affects everybody else. So that was challenging. Rewarding is they just are getting it, you know what I mean? They're like getting the songs, they're getting one song, and their lines, and I love seeing the camaraderie, like Kole said, with the different age groups, and like the older ones, like kind of taking care of the younger ones.
Right,
it's
that's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
I know you usually have the second show of the season. I'm wondering if the third, it's that crossover into June and July a little bit more. Yeah, it's tough getting everybody's schedules coordinated. You're right, for sure.
And you hate to not cast somebody because they're going on vacation, especially if they have a wonderful audition. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
but it's just like you said, it's just hard when not everybody can be there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but we're surviving the heat.
Yeah.
We are.
You guys are doing okay. I know we're keeping our fingers crossed that it's just heat and nothing else to deal with.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Absolutely. Kole, what's been, I guess, challenging for you as maybe being a first-time stage manager?
It's a lot more responsibility, I say, than I sometimes will get here.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like Mrs. C will be busy directing and telling the kids where to go, and then kind of everything else, like making sure the kids aren't like just going out in the middle of the road or something. And I've never really had to deal with that before, so probably just an intake of responsibility that I didn't necessarily know that I was stepping into that.
Right, and like you said, when there's high schoolers, they're just going to go like chill on their phones when they're not on stage, right? Whereas these kids, it's like, well, okay, how do I make sure everybody's getting along? And you know, and I know at South Park, because we're all about safety first, and the bathrooms aren't right there. Nobody goes anywhere alone, and you know all that stuff. So I think thinking almost like a big brother instead of just a peer. Right, absolutely.
And there's times where I'll say to Kole, do you just want to play a game or something? Because I'm so busy over here, you know, play a game.
Right, do something. And that's what's hard too, because not everybody's on stage at the same time, but they're all there. So it's like, what are we doing with the kids when they're hanging out over here? And that's like, all right, that's your job. There you go. So very good. All right. Rainey, talk to me then about this character, about being bratty. So where do you come up with that? Like, I obviously think that's challenging because it's not part of your personality, but where have you been able to kind of cultivate that personality a little bit?
I kind of think about like when I'm mad at someone, how I react.
Okay. You're also an older sister.
Yes.
Does that come into play at all? Like, do you think about being upset with the brother?
Yes. I mean, backstage we made all the elves a family. Yeah. And I'm one of the oldest.
Okay.
So I help take care of them. So.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's nice. I love it. But then when you have to bring out the, oh my gosh, you're annoying me, then you can bring that kind of bratty side out for Shorts. I love the names in this show already. Just cracking me up.
Exactly.
I mean, that's hilarious. Talk to me about the South Park Theater is different with the outdoor stage. What makes the outdoor stage not just unique, but really a good experience, you think?
I think because it allows the children to watch the show, but also they're not getting in trouble if they're, you know, trying to move their seat or what. We're all very like open to whatever you need, you know what I mean? Like, and if they're laying on a blanket or I was there last week to see Midas, and there was a little girl doing cartwheels, you know, but nobody cares because it's outdoors, and it's just, I don't know, the atmosphere is just really cool, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, from the audience perspective as much as, you know, as much as the actors. Kole, what about you?
I just love because I'm used to just theater being in an auditorium, air-conditioned seats. And I like that this shows the kids that theater doesn't have to be in a really nice school. It can be anywhere. It can be outside on a stage, at a community theater. Theater doesn't have to be inside. It can be anywhere. So I like that this kind of showing the kids how different theater can be.
And I've seen some, you know, of my high school students in other productions. I like that you mentioned too, not even just, you know, fancy stages. I've seen some things that have been in like church halls that haven't even really been a stage or even a set, and you know, or like what looks like, you know, just some like, you know, shower curtains going across the set. And I was like, I didn't know that like you could do that. But you're right. And the idea that you can, that like that's what it is, you know. So what about you, Rainey?
I feel like the light, having it be brighter than a dark theater, keeps the kids more engaged. Because in the dark, they'd be more likely to fall asleep. Or
That's a good point.
I feel like it's just the light keeps them more engaged.
You know, I think that's an excellent point. That's something nobody's ever brought up before. Just to like, because even the evening shows, it's summer, right? So it's still really well lit and nice outside. And I think that that's great.
Or the nature in general, I feel like.
Just that, that just being outside, which is great. And I love too for the evening shows when people come and they bring like Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or something. It's like there's like dinner and a show, you know. And it's that informality, I think, that makes it wonderful.
The other thing when she said about being light, what's weird is you don't have lights out. So when the scene changes, there's nothing to show that the scene is really changing. So that's kind of different, you know.
And
or like curtains.
For
like
curtains.
The only thing you have is the one sliding door, and it's usually just to kind of reveal that they're in another place, or like for Midas that things turn gold, which was cute. You know, that kind of thing. But and so you know, as an actor too, you have to be on all the time. So if you're on stage but you're not really acting at the moment, you're in this corner but the action's happening over here, you can't just be over here going I'm watching these guys, right? You have to be in your little, you know, in character all the time. So
especially in or on or backstage, because backstage they might even see you.
That's
so
true.
You should stay in character.
No, you're absolutely right, because depending on where people sit, they can still see you a little bit. Oh, that's fun. All right, super last question. Real quick plug for the show. Why should we come see Elves and the Shoemaker?
It is a feel-good show that tells people that if you're kind and nice to people, they're going to be kind and nice back to you.
Awesome. I like that.
It's so funny. There's like some lines that I'm even laughing at, and I'm just like, I know the age range, like it's for younger kids, but it's a very funny show, and I think you're just gonna have a good time if you come and see it. So
awesome. Rainey?
It's really funny. There's a lot of good parts, and it just keeps kids engaged, I feel like, because it's all like kid related. So
excellent. Well, thank you all for being here with me today. I appreciate it. All right, and to our audience, we want you to come and see the Elves and the Shoemaker at the outdoor stage at South Park Children's Theater. It's at the corner of Brownsville Road and Corrigan Drive. Our dates are July 14th to July 23rd. Shows are Monday at 6:30, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m., and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Over the 2 weeks, you will have 8 chances to see the show. So come out, bring a blanket and a chair, maybe even your dinner, and come enjoy the show. Thank you so much for being with me.